Tonight on To The Point.
I immigrated to United States trying to find a better life.
ABC 10 investigates Highland Community Charter and Technical Schools.
I found out about Highlands, say, oh, I'm gonna try it.
What we've uncovered over the past year.
They fill up the rooms with beginner students that are not able to really learn the language at all.
Ridiculous numbers of students on my rosters, like hundreds.
What's underlies that isn't to help more students, it's money making.
And what happens next?
We have local school boards and they run the show.
You are paid to provide financial oversight at Highlands.
Please look at where the money is going.
This is the Wild West of education, an ABC 10 investigation. Thank you for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. ABC 10 has been investigating Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools and uncovered allegations of nepotism, a toxic work environment, and the spending of hundreds of millions of public funds on lavish trips, dining, and sponsorships. A week ago, California leaders called for an audit citing ABC 10's investigation. And tonight, ABC 10 investigative reporter Andy Judson returns with the first of two new reports uncovering even more questionable practices at the charter school.
Yeah, Alex, around 40 sources have told us Highlands capitalizes off of recently arrived immigrants, enrolling thousands of adults and making hundreds of millions from their attendance. But for all the public funds Highlands receives, very few of these students graduate. Tonight, you'll hear directly from one of them who says it's not at all about education or student success at Highlands. It's about money.
I immigrated to United States trying to find a better life.
A dream this person worked hard for and wants to protect. It's why we agreed to conceal their identity. We'll call them Sam.
When you came here, did you speak any English at all?
No.
So, Sam enrolled at Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools. Highlands is a charter school for adults where students can get a high school diploma and learn English.
I was determined. I said I need to learn.
Highlands has thousands of students, but employees tell us the school's leadership does not care about the education students receive. They care about attendance. For every student in class, Highlands gets money. And in the last 6 school years, Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools told ABC 10 they've brought in over $450 million from attendance.
Because we have those huge classes.
Sources say the push to increase attendance led to all kinds of questionable practices, like oversized classes.
I had a room that had 34 chairs, and at one point I had 88 students in the room.
Take a look at these videos provided to ABC 10. Overflowing classrooms, forcing students to sit on the ground.
That is where you would see an economy of scale in a charter school or any school in terms of money.
Education expert Dr. Frank Adamson has researched charter schools for decades and confirmed large class sizes can be a sign of financial incentive. At Highlands, a class with one teacher had 287 students enrolled, this picture of a roster shows.
Ridiculous numbers of students on my rosters, like hundreds.
A source also showed ABC 10 2 other rosters from March 2024. One had 382 students, the other 347 students. Each class had one teacher.
In a physical classroom,
Yes.
That's not appropriate.
In a statement to ABC 10, Highlands said students may be enrolled but not attending, and they only get funds for those in class.
There are no caps on class sizes.
Twin Rivers Unified, the school district that authorizes and oversees Highlands, told ABC 10 class sizes at Highlands should only be reduced when there's more students than classroom capacity, or if the quality of instruction is impacted. But Highlands staff say both capacity and quality are huge issues.
They fill up the rooms with beginner students that are not able to really learn the language at all.
Our classrooms are bigger, but this is what every school in the country should be doing. Get paraeducators.
Paraeducators are teachers' aides. The job description provided to ABC 10 says paraeducators assist certificated teachers.
I needed really the job.
Sam was hired as a paraeducator right out of a Highlands class.
That was the teacher who suggested to apply.
But Sam quickly learned the job was not just to be a teacher's aide, it was also to be the teacher. They found themselves teaching classes alone.
Probably every day for probably 2 hours, 2.5.
How many paraeducators do you believe were teaching?
Majority of them.
Multiple insiders say this is common practice at Highlands. It's been going on for years.
The paras, they would always teach.
Paraeducators teaching, is that something you've experienced?
Yeah. Today.
Students at Highlands are there to earn a diploma or certificate. That means by law, their teachers need to be credentialed, the California Teachers Commission says. Paraeducators are not.
Did you know at that time it was illegal to teach without a credential?
I didn't. It hurts.
Highlands told ABC 10 no paraeducators there are hired to teach or teach classes. But another paraeducator's annual self-review provided to ABC 10 described them having to teach multiple classes. At that time, this employee did not have a credential allowing them to teach alone. They still don't, yet Highlands lists this person as a teacher on their website. Highlands responded saying all Highlands teachers have credentials or are in the process of obtaining them.
If I take a job, I want to be really qualified for it.
After already teaching classes alone, Sam told us pressure came from leadership to hurry up and get a teaching credential to make it all legitimate.
They made it clear we need teachers.
Highlands also told us they need new teachers. In response to our questions about oversized classes, they said they're hoping to expand their facilities and recruit 80 teachers in the new school year. And where Highlands finds many teachers, it's from its own staff of paraeducators, who sources say already teach illegally. Paraeducator to teacher. That's the Highlands process, this internal document ABC 10 obtained shows. Staff who, in many cases, were recently students.
We've hired 1,000 staff members, and 25%, close to 25, are ex-students.
Insiders told us Highlands recruited students who were struggling with basic subjects. We obtained records showing multiple Highlands teachers who used to be students scored lower than high school graduates on reading, listening, and math. One only had a second grade score for listening. These scores were their most recent tests as students before being hired at Highlands, sources say, and they're teachers at Highlands today.
And their teaching, for me, it's concerning. And I strongly believe they are not ready. I'm not ready.
Highlands responded saying, while we do not assess our teachers in English, we do require that they meet the requirements of the California Teachers Commission for credentialing purposes. Our sources say unqualified teachers and large class sizes hurt the education Highlands students receive.
Would you say that Highlands prioritizes attendance over all else?
Absolutely not.
While a Highlands student, Sam says they attended other schools to learn English.
I said, this is not enough. I need more.
After becoming a Highlands paraeducator, Sam heard similar concerns from students.
Students telling me, that's a joke. I need something serious.
When Sam brought these students' concerns to Highlands leadership,
they decided, you know what? We're going to move you to a different location, like a punishment.
It's a pattern. Source after source has told ABC 10 about retaliation at Highlands.
Anytime anyone voiced an opinion or some pushback, that person would usually just disappear.
Smith denies this.
We respect our staff.
In their statement to ABC 10, Highlands said they take all staff concerns seriously and recently hired a new head of HR.
Look, if you have 600 employees, you're going to have a couple that aren't loving you.
But it may be more than a couple. 400 employees are currently suing Highlands. Most of these employees are paraeducators, court documents show, and they're accusing Highlands of several issues like not paying them overtime, denying them breaks, and retaliation.
The proof is in the pudding that people are fired.
Days before releasing our initial investigation, Smith told his staff this.
We're getting our ammunition ready to combat the people who wish to do us harm. There's going to be some problems for some people.
Highlands did not respond when we asked about what Smith said. They did say the class action lawsuit was common in large organizations. They also said no one at Highlands retaliates against anyone who expresses themselves or raises concerns. But employees who feel they can't go to leadership have come to ABC 10 with concerns.
It was not that the quality of teaching was important. It was all about the attendance.
And where Highlands can bring in even more attendance is online.
We would just keep swallowing up more and more, accepting more and more students beyond capacity, well beyond capacity.
That's next on our ongoing investigation, the Wild West of Education.
On Monday, Highlands board held a special board meeting where they approved 12 contracts, all over $100,000. Some were millions of dollars, but most of these contracts have already been in operation and Highlands has already paid them. When we asked Highlands board why they're approving these contracts now, they said they have adopted a new fiscal policy to approve all contracts over $100 grand. But this was already a board policy they should have been following. When we reminded them of that, they said there's been inconsistencies in the procedures of approving contracts. They had nothing else to add when we asked them why that was the case, Alex.
All right, Andy, thank you so much for this update. And I also want to mention that you can watch all episodes of our investigation, The Wild West of Education, right now on ABC 10 Plus. And Andy will be back tomorrow right here on To The Point with the second episode of this investigation, The Wild West of Education. Andy, thanks. Thank you. All right, still ahead on To The Point. Changes are coming to electric bills. The new charge PG&E customers can expect.
And the heat is on. Moderate heat risk through your Mother's Day weekend. What to expect and if we'll see a cool down.
Meteorologist Carly Gomez with a look at our forecast. Things are really heating up pretty quickly, if I don't say so myself.
Yeah, quickly. I mean, we've really pushed from 5 to 8 degrees warmer than yesterday, and it's even feeling drier out there as humidity continues to drop. Today's high about 87 degrees in the Sacramento area. The record 94, so still far, but check out the normal. This time of year in the upper 70s typically, and then low 80s in the next couple of weeks. But our overnight lows have been pretty close. Normal's 51. We've been a little bit warmer today. We're right around 56 degrees for our early morning low. All right, the water out there is very cold and moving fast. Please be safe this weekend as we approach 90-degree temperatures. You're going to be wanting to seek out some cool areas to kind of cool off at, but we're still looking at cold waterways. American River below Folsom there at 53 degrees, as well as the Tuolumne River in the LaGrange area. Sierra foothill spots 33 to 48 degrees, but even 60 to 66 is still very cold water out there. Again, please be safe. Maybe use a pool or some splash pads as it's pretty early in the season to be getting in those waterways. High pressure overhead is clearing skies for us, but we're still getting some winds coming in from the east and northeast as that low is just toward the east of us. That's pushing some of the winds downslope for us. As we take a look into our really Friday evening, I should say around 4 p.m., you're looking at 5 to 15 mile per hour winds, and still them winds are picking up for our foothill spots. And then finally getting nice for Saturday, but by the evening, the onshore winds come in and we're getting them through the delta here about 15 to 20 miles per hour before things start slowing down for us Sunday and Monday. The pollen is just way up there for a lot of people, getting affected by allergies. Medium to high tomorrows. We're still seeing some breezy conditions into your afternoon, evening. The trees have really been pushing that pollen everywhere, and it's just kind of hanging around. Medium conditions as well as we start moving into your Mother's Day weekend. With your forecast for Mother's Day, we'll be looking at our temperatures in the low 90s, so get ready for that heat.
All right, Carly, thank you so much. Next, on To The Point, when PG&E customers will start seeing a new monthly charge on their electric bills. If you have electricity through PG&E, your bill will be changing over the next couple years. State regulators just approved adding a fixed monthly charge. ABC 10's Becca Habegger previewed this for us last night and attended today's meeting, which involved a protest outside.
Just hours ago, protesters and their chanting filled the steps here leading up to the State Energy Building. Inside was a meeting of state regulators of California's largest investor-owned utilities, including PG&E. Regulators were voting on a proposal for a new fixed monthly charge that would go on residential customers' electric bills. And protesters here wanted regulators to reject that.
Stop the big utility tax!
Protesters call it a tax, but we should note this is not a tax. It is a new monthly charge, and regulators, the California Public Utilities Commission, or CPUC, did unanimously vote to approve it.
The item passes.
Starting in early 2026, PG&E residential electric customers will see a charge of $24.15 on their bill each month. Customers in the low-income programs CARE and FARA will see a monthly charge of $6 or $12 respectively. Proponents, including the CPUC, point out this is not designed to make the utilities more money because when this monthly charge goes into effect, the cost of electricity will decrease by approximately 5 to 7 cents per kilowatt hour. As a result, they say people won't see a drastic change on their monthly bills.
What the fixed charge is the same amount you'll see on your bill every month, so it won't change. It will add more transparency and more predictability so people understand exactly what they're paying for, and they'll also be able to conserve because they'll actually see their volumetric rate called out separately from the bundled charges that has been the case thus far.
The Utility Reform Network consumer advocacy organization says they expect the average customer will see their monthly bill increase just $1.50 to $3, and low-income customers are projected to see their bill decrease on average $4 to $9 per month.
Some customers are going to see modest bill increases. Some customers will see no real change, and some customers will see modest bill decreases.
But critics worry this will lead to much higher bills for many people.
It's going to lower the kilowatt per hour rate, but very slightly. So it's not going to be enough to really actually bring down our overall bills. And it's just the rate that's going down, but then we're adding this additional charge. So people who had small bills, like a $30 electricity bill, are now going to have this $24 added to it, plus they still have to pay, for their usage of energy. So they're going to see their bills go up.
This is happening because state lawmakers passed a bill in 2022 requiring the CPUC to implement a new fixed charge for its largest electric utilities, since many other states have already done this. Critics point out there is no cap to this monthly charge and worry it could go up. Regulators say any request by any utility to raise this monthly charge would have to go through them. In downtown Sacramento, Becca Habegger, ABC 10.
Becca, and state lawmakers are working on legislation to regulate this change to monthly cost. Tonight, Assemblymember Jackie Irwin says that she has amended a bill that will be heard in committee. The bill will treat this as a fixed charge as a 4-year pilot project and prevent the CPUC from approving increases beyond the cost of inflation. And new tonight, the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office say 3 men have been arrested in connection to a homicide from last Friday. It happened along Hill Ridge Way in Fair Oaks. Folsom CVS manager Vitaly Saitzev was shot and killed. The Sacramento County Sheriff's Office shared these photos of 2 of the men accused of the shooting. They were arrested in Idaho, and a third person was arrested in San Jose. Investigators say they all knew each other. A Sacramento police officer was found dead in Rockland this morning. Officers say that around 6 this morning, they received reports of a man lying near the intersection of University Avenue and Larkspur Drive. The Sacramento Police Department identified him as 30-year-old Daniel Bartlett. He worked for the department for more than 4 years and leaves behind a wife and a young child. His cause of death has not been released, but investigators say his death wasn't suspicious. In Sacramento County, 1 person is dead after a house caught on fire. This happened along Grouse Court near North Highlands. Sacramento Metro Fire says crews found 1 person inside the home who died at the scene. 4 people were living in the home and 2 people were living in the backyard in tents. This fire is under investigation. And after a nearly 5-hour discussion last night, the Elk Grove Zoo project is officially moving forward. City Council gave the green light to start construction. Right now, the zoo sits on almost 15 acres of land at William Land Park, and the plan is to build the new zoo near Camera Road and Lots Parkway, which would expand it to 65 acres. The soonest the city expects the zoo to open is 2029. Next, onto the point, a local high school senior is receiving one of the biggest awards in the nation. You don't want to miss it. Before we go tonight, we want to highlight a big accomplishment for a local senior. Penelope Oliver from Folsom is one of 161 high school seniors named as a 2024 U.S. Presidential Scholar. The award represents the best students in our nation's schools by recognizing their accomplishments in academics, the arts, and career and technical education fields. Penelope tells us that her dream is to continue to focus on advocacy, nonprofit work, and to one day go to law school. And right now, she has plans to attend UC Berkeley in the fall for political science. And Penelope, we are all rooting for you. Congratulations. We are so, so, so proud. Thank you so much for watching us and for inviting us into your home. We love telling your stories and getting to meet you. If you have something we should be looking into, reach out to us. Have a great night. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To The Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.